Hello everyone. Uh, I need you first to tell me if you can hear me and you can see me clearly and you can see my screen. Okay, great. I'm gonna wait for a bit. And I would really appreciate it if you share this live. Okay, yeah, I'm recording this video. I'm recording all of it. but I can't guarantee if something wrong will happen. I don't know, but I'll do my best. Okay, good. We are 65 people now. Okay, we'll start now. First of all, my name is Yusuf Jandia, and I don't know if you know me already, but I'm from Syria. I got Neurasmus Scholarship the last year. Exactly like 1 year ago, I applied and I was having my interview on February 11th, I think. And back then, I asked like a lot of people about this interview, about this scholarship, but unfortunately, I didn't get any answer. So I am doing this year to help the people who were just like me, like the last year, because I didn't find anyone to help me. And I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna try to remember everything, and at the end, I'm gonna try to answer your questions. So I would suggest to leave your questions to the end, because I won't be able to see the comments. I'm sharing my screen as you see. There is like no section for comments, and on my phone, I will try to look at the comments, but to preserve the flow of the presentation, I won't look at them until the end. Okay, so uh, I'm sorry about the fan sound. It's the fan of the laptop, so I can't do anything about it. So let's start. Well, this presentation or this you can say this short course is not about only an Erasmus interview. It's about every interview you can have in your life, whether it's in Arabic or English or any other language, because the principles are the same between all of them, okay? So I'm gonna talk specifically about an Erasmus interview, but you can apply everything I say about or within any other interview you can have in the future. So, first, interviews can be high stress. Like, you can't sleep at night. You're gonna always like feel like your heart is beating too fast, like you're having a heart attack or something. I remember this like vividly. I remember when I had my first interview the next day. It was with the Queen Mary University in London. Uh, I couldn't sleep, and I was thinking all the time about the interview. What can I say? What they are gonna ask me? So many things. But believe me when I'm saying you will manage. You just have to like focus and take it easy and stay cool the whole interview. And honestly, it's not that hard. And most people, like most interviewers, they make it easy for you during the interview. Like for example, my first interview, when I started, I was like nervous and I couldn't like speak clearly at the beginning. And I remember like the interviewer, she said to me, "Okay, calm down. That's fine. Take your time. You don't have like to answer me like immediately. So take it easy and whenever you're ready." So and after this, she asked me like things about my CV. It was like an icebreaker technique, and I'm gonna talk about it. But in general, they make this you like very easy to you. Okay, so interviews can be high stress. You should prepare for this, but also a little practice and preparation always pays off. That's why I'm sharing this experience with you, because I know this and I've been there like many times. So if you prepare, if you like, I had a friend and she helped me like a lot with this matter. And if you prepare and like get ready, and especially if it's gonna be in English and it's not your native language, so it's gonna be like kind of challenging for you because you have to explain your thoughts in a language that you don't think in. And this is like a challenging for some people. I think for most people, including me, it was like uh, challenging like so much for me. Anyways, so just like get a pen and a paper for this session and write notes with me, and believe me when I say write notes with me, because I'm gonna like tell you some specific notes from my experience, and they're like you can say hacks or tips. So now we are 74 people. Okay. So, about New Erasmus. This scholarship is Erasmus Mundus, and the program is called Neuroscience, okay? So, Erasmus Mundus and Neuroscience, hence the name Neurasmus, and you can pick the track whenever you want to be in, and the tracks are depending on the country and on the specialization that you want to study, okay? It's not about only the countries, and I think it's too late like to say this now, but for future reference. So if you want to apply for this scholarship, you should at least search the tracks, like which countries they are in and what are they teaching you. Okay, because you have to say and explain this in the motivation letter, and they will ask about it in the interview. So my first interview, by the way, just the last year, like in my years, they started to do two interviews. I asked like several students before, they only had one interview. So I'm going to talk about my experience, and I think it's going to be the same this year. I don't know. So I chose the Universiteit in Amsterdam, which is the track number one, and I got an interview with them. It was my first interview. They sent me 2 days earlier a research paper, and believe me when I'm saying, that moment I had no, let's say, experience in neuroscience paper ever. Okay, so this is a bit like intimidating and challenging, I know, and I was like freaking out when I got this paper, but I spent like 2 full days just trying to read the paper and try to understand it and try like to decipher these figures that you can see on the right. And by the way, these figures are from the paper. So the paper was exactly this title: posterior amygdala regulates sexual and aggressive behavior in male mice. I received this paper 2 days earlier, and they want me prepare this paper because we will discuss this paper with you in the interview. And was like something new to me because I've never heard of this before. So I did my best. And I'm not gonna tell you how to read the paper today because this is like something else, okay? But I think if you want me to, just like say in the comments or text me later if you want me to do like a video or a live about reading the research paper related to the interview or to the new Erasmus scholarship, just tell me, okay? So I got this paper. I prepared it like for 2 days. I studied this paper a lot, and then when the interview started, my first question, I had like several questions. So my first question was, did you have the time to read the paper that we've sent you? And I said, of course, yes. Of course, you should say yes. You shouldn't say no, because that's what they are expecting from you. So I said yes. And then he told me, okay, you have 60 seconds. Tell me what you understood with or from this paper. Like 60 seconds. And honestly, at that moment, I freaked out. I didn't know what to say. But then he noticed and he told me, okay, take it easy, calm down. Don't worry, take your time. And I took like a deep breath and I explained everything I understood from this paper as the way I understood it. Like I'm not a neuroscience student. I didn't study neuroscience before, but I tried my best. And after explaining like the gist of the paper, he started asking me like following up questions. Like, for example, okay, you read this paper and you gave me your opinion. What do you take from this paper? Like, what's the purpose of this paper? And I explained it to him. And then he told me, okay, do you have any follow up? Like, you read this experiment, you read this like these results. Do you have any follow up for this paper? Like, are you planning to do any addition experiments in the future? And I was like, yes, of course. Again, this is what they want to hear, okay? Like, you can't say no. If you say no, then what's the point of discussing this paper with you? What's the point of giving you this scholarship? And as we know, it's like a very generous scholarship, so at least we have to be prepared for these kind of questions. So I told him my follow up like research, and I was like, in my opinion, in my like modest medical thinking, and then he asked me again, okay, that's a good point. That's a good idea that you are planning to do this and this. But do you have any ideas about the methods that you're gonna use? So this is like a different type of questions. And if you read the paper, I'm gonna send it to you, or I'm gonna put it like in the group chat and on Messenger. If you read the paper, you will like read about things that you've never heard of, like so many new things, like for example chemogenetics, optogenetics. And for me this was all new, I didn't know any of this before. I read the paper, but when I was reading the paper I was looking up every term that I'm facing, okay? So I knew back then what's optogenetic, what's chemogenetic. So during the interview, I told him, yeah, I want to use optogenetic and fMRI. And fMRI was a wrong answer. He told me, no, we can't use this during the interview. I'm just saying this for you, not to make you like stressed and scared of this interview. So I was like, okay, maybe it's wrong. Can you tell me why? And I was like, okay, do you know what we're studying in this paper? And I said, we're studying the amygdala. And he said, yeah, the amygdala is like subcortex structure. And we can't use fMRI, which is for the cortex, for studying like cortex structure. I was like, okay, that's a nice thing to know. And it was amazing. After we finished the paper, we started the general questions. Like, for example, the first question that you could get in all times, like in every single interview, is tell me about yourself. I'm gonna ask you in the comments now. I'm watching the comments. I want like several people of you just to let me know what you can answer for this question. Like in 4 or 5 lines, tell me about yourself. Go. Okay, amazing. Now I'm getting the answers. Well, by the way, there's like a gap between, like a time delay between me stopping and you seeing the or hearing what I'm saying. Okay, so hey, I'm Shihani. I'm from Sri Lanka, which is an island in the Indian Ocean. I love the brain and cannot study more about it. Okay, that's good. I'm Carmen, a Mexican genomic scientist with an interest in neurodegenerative diseases and psychiatric disorders, and I would like to combine my two passions, genomics and neurosciences, to continue pursuing a career in science. That's an amazing answer. I'm someone who chase her dreams. Look, this is a good answer, but you shouldn't use it in like interviews, especially the official one, like the high yield one, okay, like for a scholarship or for like a great job opportunity, okay? So you shouldn't use it. You should like explain more about you, okay? What I studied, then said what I studied, past experiences related to this field, objectives related to this program and my career. Can I offer? Okay, that's a good one. But I need more detailed answer. I'm just doing this to help you. Sulaiman Diab, in my first year internal medicine resident, I'm amazed. Okay, I'm a first year, sorry. I'm amazed by science and research, and I want to better understand humans and the human brain. I'm interested in psychoanalysis and neuroscience. That's a good one. I became interested in addiction research after seeing close friends become addicted to opioids. That's a good answer, and I'm gonna tell you why. After doing undergraduate research in biochemistry, I wanted to pursue something in neuroscience. For the last 3 years, I've been working in a neuroscience lab that focuses on the neural circuitry of motivation. That's amazing. I like it. Uh, it gives me the idea of you know what you're talking about and you did your homework, like you did your research, you know what's this scholarship about. I like it. Very good, Scott. Maria, I'm a medical student at Aleppo University and volunteer in several societies. I'm interested in research and have just started to work on several papers. I'm half Syrian, half Russian. That's a good answer. uh, Yasmin, I'm a Brazilian psychologist who have had experience with cognitive neurosciences during my undergraduate course. I'm interested in studying neuroplasticity, that's a good field, and how drug abuse can affect the brain. My dream is to become a professional researcher and teacher at university. Okay, that's enough. These are amazing answers, like all of them. And I would like from the others like who with us in this live to read the answers too. They're gonna get like useful in the future, because this is the point. A lot of people, they send me questions like, how do I write motivation letter, or how do I answer in the interviews, or any similar question. And my first answer is just look it up, just try to read examples, just try to like, for example, for motivation letters, just try to read motivation letters. That's it. If you read a lot of motivation letters, you will know how to express your feelings or your thoughts and or like your plans. Anyway, so tell me about yourself. It should be short and at the same time shouldn't be short. Okay, how would I know when to stop? This is a good tip, and I would suggest like to practice and write it down. Just try to read the atmosphere of the interviewer. Just try to sense if they're bored, if they're saying in their like mind, okay, when is he gonna stop? Okay? If you know how to do it, it's not hard, but it depends on like the answer that you're saying and the reaction to it. That's one. Two, just put yourself instead of the interviewer. Are you interested in hearing and listening to all of these information for the first question or not? You know, like when I'm first like I just saw you and we're doing an interview and I was like, okay, good morning. Tell me about yourself. And you were like talking and talking and talking and you're telling me about your past and the present and the future. I'm gonna be bored, and I'm gonna be like spaced out, like in Arabic, like yishrud. like spaced out, because I'm not gonna be like focusing with you all the time because you're just talking, and this is wrong. So for me, when he asked me like to tell him about myself, I was like, okay, I'm Yusuf Jandia. I'm 26 years old. I'm from Syria, Aleppo, and now I'm a resident physician at Aleppo University Hospital in the Department of Internal Medicine. I studied medicine like for 6 years, and I was one of the co-founders of the Syrian Astronomical Association and also the Syrian Medical Student Association. I have so many interests and hobbies. I play guitar, I do origami, and that's it. That's it. This is literally what I said, and it was good. I didn't say anything related to neuroscience. I didn't say anything related to my future plans. So I'm not saying like this is bad or a good way. I'm just saying what I said, okay? But it's always a good thing to keep it short and at the same time to keep it interesting. Okay. The second question, this is the wrong slide. The second question, after you tell the interviewer about yourself, they're gonna ask you like some questions that are related to your future, like your future, your plans, your everything. So, for example, my first question was, why did you choose neuroscience? And I gave him a good answer. And because of this, like this live is about Neurasmus, I would like to hear your answers too. Why did you choose Neurasmus? Or why did you choose neuroscience? If you can let me know in the comments, I'll be waiting. Please leave the questions to the end of the session. I don't want to be like distracted or anyone else here. So just like write it down on a paper or like on a note, and I'm gonna answer for everything. Don't worry. More answers, people. More answers. Especially people who are having the interview. I think within the next couple of weeks. Shihani, I chose neuroscience to learn about how brain research contributes to mental health and disease. That's a good one, but it's short. I chose neuroscience because I've always wanted to study how the brain works and to help to develop new technology and to the healthcare community. That's a good one. I'm fascinated by the brain and how the brain works. I chose Erasmus because I haven't had the chance to obtain any neuroscience specific knowledge in my course. That's a good one, Carmen. Anyone else? I'm passionate about neuroscience and specifically neurodegenerative diseases because it's a worldwide problem and we still have a lot of things to know about it. Erasmus would be a good fit for me since it's a comprehensive program and allows me to focus. Okay, that's a good one. That's an amazing answer. Yeah, about like the last answer. I want to study neuroscience because of the promising research being done to understand and combat addiction. It's a very, like, I don't know if I can say wide open answer, you know? I'm still reading the answers. Now I'm reading Arthur's. That's a good one. Amnes. Yes, don't worry. I'm recording this session. And now I'm reading Maria's. Okay. All of these answers are amazing, uh, which shows like some effort that you did, but I would like to make it more detailed. Not as like not especially in your like why do you want neuroscience? Because I love to study brain. This is a very like wide open answer, you know? Everyone wants to study neuroscience, they want to study the brain. This is the point. But I need you to I need you to say or to tell me why do you want to study the brain? Like for example, my answer was I don't remember like my whole answer, but uh, I have two mysteries on in this universe. I want to study them. The first one is the universe itself, which was the reason why I was the co-founder of the Syrian Astronomical Association in my city. The second one is the brain itself, which is more complicated than the universe itself. And so far as we know that it's so complicated. So I want to study the brain because it has so many relationships with a lot of diseases, especially the neurodegenerative diseases, such as like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, MS, multiple sclerosis. And also, I really want to know how several neurons, like it's not several, but how the neurons and the chemical reactions between them are making this personality. And at the same time, every personality is different from the other one. We know like somehow everything is similar in the brain between or among all people, but yet they are different. That's why I want to study this. I want to know what makes us different, what makes us us. That's it. That was like my answer. So basically, you don't only want to study the brain. I need you to let me know why you want to study the brain. That's the point. Okay? So, after this question, honestly, my presentation is like having issues, but anyway, I'm gonna manage. I got this question in the first interview. Do you know that there is a gap between your transcript the transcript for like Syrian people is like the كشف العلامات, okay? So do you have like there is a gap between your transcript and our course? And I was like, of course, I know. Yeah, like there is a huge gap because you studied things and you require things that I didn't study and vice versa. And then he told me, okay, that's a good answer. How are you planning to fix this gap? I'm not gonna give you like more time to answer me because I think it's gonna be like so long or too long recordings. So I'm gonna answer now. I know there is a gap between my transcript, like between the things that I studied, because I studied medicine, and the things that I'm about to study, which are in the neuroscience field. That's for sure. And why is that? Because now in my course, we are like more than 100 students, okay? And some of them studied bioinformatics. Some of them studied mathematics, by the way. We have like a couple of students, they studied mathematics and so on. So we're not similar in our background. That's the point. So when you are applying to any scholarship, don't think about the way we think in, like, for example, Syria or in the Arabic world, that this scholarship is only like for medical students or this scholarship is only for dentists or I don't know what. It's not the same, okay? when you apply for any scholarship or any position at any university, just try to open the course website and try to see the requirements and try to see what kind of degrees they accept. Maybe yours is from them, maybe not. Just keep looking. That's the point. Not every scholarship or not every university position or like application they have the same degrees. Okay, so how would you feel or how would you fix this gap, the gap between me, my knowledge, my background knowledge, and the things that I'm gonna learn? And then I told him about my, then I was like exactly like this. Okay, I'm gonna tell you about my final year in medical school. We have this thing we call national examination. It's the graduation examination, and it's a very hard exam. You have to study like so much for this exam. And during my study in for this exam, I faced a lot of things that I didn't know anything about before. And this is normal. Like you don't know everything. So we have the internet, we have Google. I said this exactly. We have Google, we have the internet, and then I said, yeah, Google, I mean Google Scholar, because I want to research or like I want to search for papers for my answers. And honestly, and this is like a good one, if I'm there and I'm studying things that I didn't understand, I'm gonna ask you because he's like the coordinator of the course. And I'm gonna ask you or ask another students or I'm gonna ask like the professors. And this is normal, I think, because eventually you will have so many questions that you will require some people to answer for these questions. And he was impressed by this answer. And I know this after I came here, I saw him and we were talking about something. And then I told him, like, okay, I want to ask you something about like this course. And he answered me. At the end, I said, thank you, but I don't know if you remember in the interview, I told you that I'm gonna ask you, and here I am. I'm asking you. And I was like, oh, of course, I remember it was one of the best answers that I've ever heard. So that's the point. It's okay to ask people, it's okay to acknowledge that you don't know everything, okay? So, this is for this question. The second one is why Amsterdam? Honestly, there is no right or wrong answer for this question at all, okay? If I told you why Amsterdam or why London or why like any city, you just have to look this city up and try to like know some stuff about the city, and that's it. For me, I told him like Vrij Universiteit or the FU, it's one of the best universities in the whole world. It has this, and here I mentioned like several labs in this university, and I would like to study in this university, and this is one of the reasons that I want Amsterdam. The second one, Amsterdam has a lot of international students, like so many international students, and I love getting to know new people, getting to know new cultures, and meeting like people from different countries and backgrounds. And because it's the capital of the Netherlands, I think it has so many attractive sites and museums, and I would really like to go there. For example, there is Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam. I mentioned it, and it was, I think, enough. So if you get this question like why this city, just try to mention things related to this city, at the same time related to you personally. So don't get like answers, ready answers from the internet. Okay, why Amsterdam? One, two, three, four, five. This is wrong, and they know this. By the way, they know this. Like after you finish the interview, they will revise your answers, and they will know if they're like, let's say, stolen from other sources or not. Okay. Uh, okay. So the next question, I told you before, why neuroscience? And I answered him. And then he had another question, like, why neuroscience and not psychology? Because you said you want to know what makes us us and what are the mechanisms that make the personality because of the brain. So basically, you are trying to tell me that you want to study psychology. And it was a hard question, by the way. And then I said, no, I honestly want to study neuroscience, not the psychology. Like, there is a reason and there is the result. And I think there are like two faces for one coin. You can't say neuroscience is the reason for psychology, because the neuroscience is also affected by psychology. And I don't know, but in the future, like if you got accepted or if you study like neuroscience thing on your own, you will know that a lot of behaviors that we do, they affect the neurochemistry of the brain and vice versa. So they are two faces of one coin, at least in my opinion. So I would like to study neuroscience, and in the future, if I want to expand into psychology, I would have the option. But so far, no, I only want to study neuroscience. And this is a very like challenging and tricky question, and you should get ready for it, okay? Yes, I'm recording this video. And here we finished the first interview. I think this is it. I don't know if I will remember any more questions, but at the end of this uh, session, I'm gonna say or mention some addition questions in general. Okay, so after like I think 1 month, I got an email for a second interview with Bordeaux University, which is, I don't know if you know this, for people who applied for Neurasmus and who didn't. University of Bordeaux is the like responsible university of this scholarship. They make the decisions of like accepting students or not. Okay, so I got accepted by the first interview, which is the full, and then they sent my application to University of Bordeaux. We want to choose these people. You can interview them and let us know who are we gonna choose. Okay, so the second interview was with University de Bordeaux or Bordeaux University, and kind of it was like a simple simple like interview, but at the same time it was like kind of like intimidating. Like my interviewer was wearing a mask like during the interview, and I was on like online Zoom meeting, but she was wearing a mask. I don't know why, and she has a French accent, so I couldn't understand like well, and at the same time I couldn't see her lips moving because she was wearing a mask. So it was like very hard to me to try to understand this. And you can't say like I don't understand. Can you repeat this? Like you can say it once or twice. That's normal, of course. But you can't say it like all the time, okay? And I couldn't ask her like to take off the mask because I don't know, maybe she has a reason, maybe she lives with someone who has COVID. It's not my place to ask her to do this. So I said, okay, I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna try like to focus and hear everything and listen to everything she's saying. So it was kind of simple, this interview. And the first question was, tell me about yourself. But before that, she said, okay, I'm looking to your resume, like the CV, and I saw that you play guitar. I was like, yeah, yeah, I play guitar. And then she was asking me questions about this matter. And we both know that this is not like an ice breaking technique, like to make the atmosphere more comfortable for me, because I'm nervous, obviously. So she was like, how long have you been playing the guitar? Who told you? And I told her like I learned by like using the YouTube. I didn't have like instructor or like a teacher for this. And she was like kind of impressed. And we had like a discussion not related to the interview, and we had fun. And this is exactly the point of ice breaking technique, to make you feel comfortable, to make you feel that you're having just a regular conversation, you're not having like an interview or something. So uh, after this about the guitar, she told me, okay, if you got accepted, promise me to get your guitar here. And I was laughing. Okay, I will promise you. Just please accept me. Then we started. The first question, as I said, tell me about yourself, like the normal thing. Who are you? How old are you? Where are you from? What do you do? What do you study? And that's it. The second question, why this scholarship? And it's the same of why neuroscience, okay? And for me, for both questions, my answer was, in addition to the things I said before, I want to study neuroscience and I want this scholarship because first, I'm really interested in neuroscience and the things I said before. And second, we don't have neuroscience in Syria and we don't have this field in Syria. And honestly, I'm interested in it. And I would like be very grateful if I get the chance to study what I've been dreaming about like my whole life. Okay? That was my answer for this. And that was a tricky question. Why do you think we should choose you? You know what? I need to hear your answers. Okay, go to the chat and write down your answers, please. I'm still waiting for your answers. If you don't know what to say, you can just tell me that you don't know. That's fine because we don't know everything. That's what I said before. Like, this is a tricky question. Like, I'm gonna give you like 100,000 of like almost euros, and I need to know why should I give it to you? Like, why you? So it's not gonna be like about marketing yourself. Like sometimes when you market yourself in an interview, it's gonna sound like I don't know how to explain this like in proper way, but like you are like you have an ego, you know, like you see like yourself like a big deal, like something like very very huge. But and this is like a wrong way to explain or to answer to this question, because I don't want, as an interviewer, if I'm interviewing you, I don't want to feel that you are not a modest person, that you don't admit that you have weaknesses, you know. So apparently no one is gonna answer, and that's fine. I don't know, I'm not getting any answer. Ah, sorry. Okay. Because I would be able to enhance my skill and learn more about neuroscience with regard to what I propose in motivational. I'm sorry, I can't see like the answers except like several of them, so I don't know. Anyways, I think that from my background and previous research experiences, I believe that I can work hard and put all my effort and resources to have a positive impact on the partner universities and on the research they are doing as well. Okay. I have years of research experience spanning areas like environmental chemistry, biochemistry, and neuroscience. Neuroscience is such an interdisciplinary field, and to be successful, you need to. 'Amazing. 2 days ago, I did the MM interview, and the same question came up. My answer, in short, was that I think I fit this program as much as it's fitting me, and I'm gonna give back as much as I'm gonna. Amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. Basically, these answers are perfect. Honestly, yeah, I would like them if I'm interviewing you. Uh, all of them. Yeah, I like all of them. Anyways, so if I'm asking you, why do you think we should choose you? Why do you think you should like take or get this scholarship? I need to know why, okay? And my answer was literally, I started like this. I think it's not my place to tell you you should choose me or not, but it's my place to tell you, I can tell you that why I deserve this scholarship. And I started talking about my experiences and about my like plans and dreams about the future and what I'm planning to do and so on. Okay? And everything you mentioned in the comments could be used in this answer. Okay. The next question was, what's your plan after you finish this master? Like after I finish this master, master is like 2 years. After you finish this master, you should say what's your plan. For me, it was getting my PhD, and after finishing this, I'm gonna start research with research groups all around the world. We're gonna make like conferences, and we're gonna explain our research to several other research groups from different countries. And I was planning to take my neuroscience knowledge and share it with my, like, let's say, colleagues in Syria, because I know some people in Syria, some students, they are like very like smart and hardworking, and they want to be a part of this field, but they can't because they we don't have like neuroscience in Syria. So I would like to make some some things to them, like a few things, and to make it easier and try like to help them and help me at the same time. And we can like contact several professors from different universities in Syria to make like a research group about this, to make like case reports, especially about the field of clinical neuroscience, because I studied medicine. So that was my answer for this. Okay. The next one, what's your plan in the future? basically I tried to say the same things that I said to the previous question, but uh, I told him or her, no, I told her more details about it, like really what's my plan for the future, at least for the next 5 to 10 years. And the second question, this is a very tricky one, and I'm gonna tell you why. She said, give me three strengths about you, like three strong points that I think I have them. And it was tricky because I only prepared for one. Why? Because basically, and this is like a tip you should write down, in every interview, whether it's like for the scholarship or like a job interview or anything else, they will ask you give me one strong point and one weakness point or weak point about yourself, and you should know what to say. But I didn't prepare three, so I was giving her my first one, and my brain was thinking about the second one. I don't know if you understand me, but it was very hard. This question was very hard for me because at the same time, you are talking, you are telling her like you're strong or you're like whatever, but you have to know and you have to think about a good answer, not about just an answer. So in this case, I don't know if you have any suggestions to this question. If I told you, tell me three strengths about yourself. If you have just mentioned in the comment. So for me, for the first one that I planned before, I told her that I manage my time very well. I honestly take like time management very seriously. I have like a whiteboard in my room that I plan everything on it, and I have several mobile applications. Like I want to know exactly what I'm doing at this a certain amount of time on a specific date, and this was my first one. And I can give you examples that I prepared here. Like for example, you can say you have let's say creative, okay? Like you have like some thinking out of the box, like you can think out of the box, and you can mention stories or you can mention like an example for this. You should mention an example for this, by the way. You can't just say, yeah, I think outside the box. Really? Like everyone can say this, So you have to tell me an example. You have to give me a story uh, from your experience or from your past. Okay. The second one is like discipline or determined. You can't say like stubborn. Okay. Some people they say, well, if I wanted to do something, I will do it. You have to say you are determined because otherwise they're gonna think that you are a stubborn person and they don't want to work with a stubborn person. Okay, that's a difference between them. You can say also the patience that you have, respectfulness that you have, like respect for people that they whether they work with you or like anything else, and dedication. And this is a good one. If you say that, sorry, I'm seeing the answers now. Passionate, persistent, innovative, inquiry, responsible, and creative. I'm very goal oriented, organized, and resilient. These are amazing. Perfect. So, yeah, for this question, you have to be prepared for at least three things or 3 points. They're not gonna ask you for four, it's very unlikely. I don't know. But yeah, three, it happened to me, and I wouldn't recommend it for you to happen to you because it's hard like to think about things that you didn't prepare before, especially about like very like sensitive issues. So the next question is the opposite. Give me three weaknesses about you, like three things that you don't like in you, but at the same time try to make us like you. This is a very sensitive matter or point. I don't want you to tell me that you get angry easily, I don't know, or for example, you are like very stubborn person. I don't want to hear this. Okay? So you should say stuff that you think they are bad, but at the same time, they are useful for them. And I'm gonna give you some examples. One, you can say, I focus too much. And for me, sometimes, yeah, I focus too much on the details. And it's like, why don't like it? Well, sometimes it gives me like a headache. I can't like be focusing on the details all the time. And I remember stuff that they are not related to anything I know in my life. So yeah, I don't like it. So that's a good thing that you focus on the details. If you want to study neuroscience, I really want a person like you. If I want to accept you, I want a person like you. Why? Because you pay attention to details and you're gonna study something with huge amount of details. That's the point. For example, you can say, I have a hard time letting go of a project. And that's a good thing. Why? Some people, they have like an idea, they do an experiment, it fails, they stop. And this is wrong. Okay? So you have this point in you that you have a hard time letting go of a project. You can't. If you don't see it to the end of it, you can't stop. And this is a very good thing. But at the same time, it may be annoying to you, might be annoying to you. Why? Because if you think about every project in your life and you had hard time letting go, it's hard for you. That's another one. Okay? And also you can say, I have trouble saying no, and that's a good one. I get impatient when projects run beyond the deadline. That's a good one. I could use more experience in, and you can mention something you don't know. Like, for example, one weakness in myself before was statistics. And in the interview, I didn't say it, but I could have said it before. I could use more experience in statistics. Why? Because this is a weakness in me. Okay? Like, I face hard time dealing with statistics, especially like the scientific statistics. It's hard. Everyone studied it. They know it's hard. So I can use some experience in this. Okay. I'm gonna read your answers. Looking for perfection in everything I do. That's a good one. Perfectionist. That's a very good one. Actually, that was my second point. The first one was the over curiosity that I have. I always like ask question about everything around me, and this is like very annoying to me. The second one is being a perfectionist, that I want everything to be as perfect as I can. And the third one, well, I'm gonna tell you this to be honest. While I was saying the second point, I didn't know what to say in the third one. I didn't know it. So I was like trying to explain the second point more to give me time to think about the third point. And I know I have a lot of weaknesses. Everyone does. Like all of us, we have a lot of weaknesses, but sometimes we don't know them. And especially when like a person asks you like, okay, give me one or two weaknesses about yourself. It's like, okay, tell me a joke. I know jokes, but I can't remember any joke now. You know, this is exactly the same. So the third one, I told her exactly this way. Remember my first strong point? And she was like, yeah, I do. It's about the time management. I was like, exactly. Sometimes because I organize my time like so perfectly, I don't have time to chill or like to take some rest. And sometimes I look at myself at the mirror, in the mirror, I don't know, on the mirror, I don't know. So sometimes I look to myself at the mirror and say, please, dude, just take some rest. And then she said, ah, so you're saying you are a hard working person. And I said, well, if you want to put it like this, okay, I am a hardworking person, but sometimes, yeah, I need a break. And she liked it. Okay, so this is like a very good answer you can use, and I'm gonna give you an extra one. You can say, I can have trouble asking for help. Why? Because you are admitting this. Okay, like you're saying previously, let's say you said in the same interview that you can ask people for help or like for anything, and then you said I can, or I find like uh, I can have trouble asking for help. This is normal. Not all of us can ask whenever they want. Some of us like may feel shy. Some of us may feel like hesitant to ask questions. That's very normal. You can explain this in the interview. Okay. So the most important thing, I want you to put this in your mind, to stay true to yourself. Okay, like just stay true to yourself. Just don't lie, please, especially in your motivation letter, especially in the interview. Eventually, they will know if you lied. And believe me, if they feel that like you lied about 100% of the things that you said you did or you had, probably they're not gonna accept you. Okay? Yes, Harris, I'm gonna try to upload my session on YouTube channel. Okay, of course. Uh, Again, be yourself. Nothing beats being your true self, okay? And I still have other questions, but I'm gonna stop now and I'm gonna answer your questions because we've been talking like for an hour now. Yeah, it's like 1 hour and 7 minutes, okay? So, any questions? This is the questions time. So, hit me. We will always have this second interview. I don't know. I honestly don't know, but like all of us, the last year, we got two interviews. So I can't tell you like a right answer. Is the Erasmus stipend enough to cover living expenses? I. What do you mean, like James? You mean the salary of this scholarship? I don't understand. Can you like explain more, please? How long was the interview? Do you remember? Yeah, both of them were like half an hour, like maximum half an hour. Yeah. And the second one, I think it was 22 minutes, 23 minutes. Can you tell us about courses and lab in Bordeaux? I don't know because I didn't look it up in Bordeaux, but they have something called uh wait. Yeah, Neuroscience campus. This thing uh it has like so many labs in Bordeaux and it's like an international thing, so you can look it up if you want. Yusuf, about the research paper, do they look for in-depth knowledge? No, not at all. Not in-depth knowledge because they know that you don't know everything or like a lot of things because you are about to study neuroscience, okay? But they want you to know if you have critical thinking, if you can read a paper, if you can take some knowledge, even though you have no background in this, okay? How was your first year in Erasmus having zero background in Euro? It was difficult. It was, oh my God, you have no idea, James. You have no idea. It was so hard, especially the first like two courses. The first one was From Molecule to Mind, and it's about neuroanatomy, cell biology, and neurophysiology. Three things in one course, and it was a very intensive course. And the second one, it was statistics in neuroscience, and it was very hard. So yeah, it needs a lot of working, and I would highly recommend if you got accepted, try to start studying while you are at your home, because I think you're gonna have like 4 months. You know, like I got accepted in April, and I left. I took the flight when in August, so I had like 4 months, and they are enough. Uh, How did you mention about your English certificate in your motivation letter? Basically, I said in my motivation letter, I can prove my English to you. I don't have a certificate because of the reason that we don't have test centers in Syria. And if I want to get a test or TOEFL or IELTS, I would have to go to Lebanon and to the test and blah blah blah. Okay. And in the interview, they at the end, both of the interviews, at the end they told me, "Do you have any questions?" And I was okay, I do, about the English language certificate. I can't do it now. And if you insist about me getting like a certificate, it's gonna take like a huge effort from me because I have to travel in this pandemic, COVID events of COVID-19. And it's like about traveling to another country, so it's kind of expensive for me. Uh, and then I'm trying to remember. Yeah, and then I said, you saw and we talked, like you saw my English language, you know it now. We talked, we discussed scientific things and non-scientific things, because they don't want you just like to know how to talk, you know? They want to know that you are capable of understanding scientific things, because you're gonna like attend lectures. Uh, they never ask about your previous experience. They are students without work or investigation experience. Yeah, good thing you. That's why I like the questions part because you remind me of things that I forgot to mention. Yes, the first interview, he told me, "What is your research background?" And I said, "I don't have any publications because I didn't have the chance to do any publications, and I had my own reasons." I told him my own reasons. I can't mention them here. But then I told him, "But I do research. Like, for example, I have a YouTube channel, I have a Facebook page, and also I did 6 scripts episodes for a YouTube show, what that was hosted by Dr. Charles Malik, and he's like the founder of the Syrian Researchers Association. And all of these scripts were about the brain and the chemistry of the brain and about the neuroscience. So I did the research by myself, and I read all the papers regarding these scripts, and this is my research background. Do they ask if you have published anything? Yeah, they do, and you have to be honest with this. You have to say if you have or if you don't. What did you do before the interview to keep your cool and manage your nerves? Actually, nothing. Believe me, I swear, I didn't do anything. Some people take beta blocker. I didn't, because I know like it's gonna be like very stressful the interview, but at the same time, I know that I can do it. You know, I have this like feeling that I can do it. It's not gonna be like very disastrous for me. And honestly, think about it like this. If you did everything wrong in the interview, like everything, okay, they're not gonna kill you, and it's not gonna be like the end of the world for you, you know? You're only gonna have, you will like have chances all the time, always. So don't beat yourself up if you feel like nervous or stressed all the time, because this is more harmful than useful. Could you please gaze through the Göttingen track 1 year? I don't know, because I didn't look up Göttingen track. I only chose track number one, you know? I can't help you with this, I'm sorry, but I don't know about Göttingen track. But I'm gonna give you like some tips. If you choose Göttingen, just try to first contact students, like previous students, try to ask them questions about their courses and try to figure out like the labs there in Göttingen, and try like to know and do your homework. Yeah, try to do what you have to do about this. Okay. So if we don't have much experience in neuroscience, we didn't study it before, we have a chance. Yes, they don't ask scientific things about neuro. They do, but they want you to know it's it's about like regardless your background certificate, okay, but you want to study neuroscience, not only like want to study neuroscience, no, you want to study neuroscience for free and you want to get the salary. So I need to know why I should give you this. If you don't have knowledge about neuroscience in general, like even the basics things, and other people they do, I'm not gonna give you the scholarship. I'm gonna give it to the other people that they do. You see the point? And it's a very competitive scholarship. So if you don't have like knowledge about neuroscience, then I think you should learn about neuroscience if you want this scholarship. Is the question, what are your future plans or what will you do after this program? End question. Yeah, sorry. So should we give any specific answer to this? Like, I want to work as a formulation scientist in this medicine. You can say whatever you want. You can say literally whatever you want, but try to make it realistic and try to make it doable. And don't say like things that you can't achieve. Like, for example, I'm gonna open my own lab, and this is like very far-fetched. Like, open your own lab in 5 years. That's impossible. So I don't know if you got my point, but yeah. Do we have to write an email or mail saying thanks to after? Yeah, I got this question yesterday. In my experience, in my opinion, no. I don't know why people like trying to say this. Some people they do. I don't know. I'm not saying it's wrong, but I didn't do it like ever. I got like a lot of interviews before in the last couple of years. I didn't do it. But at the end of the interview, they say, "Do you have any questions?" And you ask your questions, and they answer your question, and then they will thank you for attending this interview. And then it's obviously gonna say, "Yeah, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for this interview. It was very nice to meet you, and let's hope for the best. It was nice to meet you. Have a nice day. Bye." That's it. I don't know if you want to send an email, you can send an email. How many times do you practice on that? I really have a billion ideas to talk about, but I have hesitation. Yeah, that's normal. That's normal. This is why I'm making this live. This is why I'm making this session, okay? So try to practice as much as you can. Pen and paper. Try to write down everything you want to. Guys, before I continue the questions, if anyone wants to support this content or support me, I would really appreciate it because I have an exam tomorrow and I'm doing this for you because the day after tomorrow, the first interview will gonna be for like a lot of students. That's why I'm making this today. So it's taking like a lot of time for me to do and effort. So I really appreciate it if you just buy me a cup of coffee on the link in the description. It's buymeacoffee.com/thebraintest. And thank you very much. Uh, Self-study roadmap. What do you mean, Anas? Can you explain more? With question they asked you in the embassy. I didn't get any question in the embassy. None. I just went there, give them my papers. The next day, took my passport with the visa. I did some special. I did home special edition. Yeah, you have to send them an email. Yeah, if you did this TOEFL home edition, you have to send them an email that you have this certificate, and I think they will understand, especially in the COVID situation. I don't know. You can send them an email to the help desk, and they'll explain to you. Is it necessary to have published papers? No, I didn't have any published papers, but it's necessary to know what is research because the new Erasmus Scholarship it's about neuroscience research. What kind of questions they asked you in the embassy? None. I said none. One more question. In most of programs, they ask from the candidate, "Do you want to know anything about program?" So should we question them about program? For example, if the committee said you, if you have any question about, yeah, you can ask whatever you want. Like in the next interview, she after I asked her about the English certificate thing, I asked her about a lot of other things. Like for example, is it possible for me to do the PhD after I finish my master in also in Europe? And what are the chances of me finding a job in the future in Europe? Like for example, I want to do my second year in Berlin. Is it possible? You can ask whatever you want, but make it like serious and realistic. Do they match your answer of LOM or we can modify them and add things? Any question about the course module knowledge? Yeah, they do match your answers with the motivation letter. They have it in front of them. Like when you do the meeting, they have the motivation letter and your resume, and they ask you a lot of questions regarding your resume, because this is exactly what made them interview you. You know. What's the best dressing for boys and girls for interview? Not, don't worry. Like, don't think about it at all. Okay? Like, just wear whatever you want, but like, make it formal. Don't. I don't know, but I don't think like you should think about it. That's like wear normally. Okay? In medicine, is it better to have a resident background or if it doesn't matter for them if you have a uh, like in general, no, it doesn't matter, but like being a resident physician, it gives you a lot of things, useful things in your career, in your future. You you get to know like how to treat people, how to be a part of a team, how to understand patients, how to critical thinking. You know, like it's not about like only a resident physician. Do they ask basic neuroscience questions? No, that's why they sent you, or they will send you, I don't know, the research paper, because this is exactly what they want to ask you about. If you mention about clinical experience on your motivation letter, are they going to ask you the details of the diseases that you mentioned? If you mention, yeah, this is better. I don't understand your question, Topman. If you mention about clinical experience and on your motivation letter, are they going to the details of? No, no, no. Yeah, I do know. No, they're not gonna ask you any details. Don't worry. All we want to ask you questions always. So why don't you create a post on Facebook once a week or something that you? I'm sorry. I really, really don't have the time for this to do it like every week. I'm very sorry. That's why I'm doing this live, and that's why I put a lot of announcements like 2 or 3 days ago, because I want all the people that they need this to be here to answer to ask their questions, and I can be here like for as long as you want me to. Sorry, I can't like do it, especially like writing answers. Like writing, it's believe me, it's hard and takes a lot of time. Uh, is it better to mention that I want to help country next or not? You mean your country, or if I plan to complete in another country? You can say whatever you want. Like for example, for Chevening Scholarship, they want you to go back to your country. Okay, so they're gonna ask you questions about your plan, and they want to know your plan about going back. But for Neurasmus and Erasmus, no, they don't. They don't care about this. But also, even though they want you to know, uh, or they want to know that you know your plan. Okay. Thank you very much for your help and time. It's very. You are more than welcome, Yasmin. Of course. Did you go to Lebanon or you sent your paper by emails? No, I went to Lebanon. I went there and I went to the embassy. I gave them my papers, and the next day I took my passport. That was it. What are the things that can make us stand out, like anything scientific or unscientific to mention in the CV? Can't, I don't know, like I can't tell you exactly what are the things, you know? Because this is like a different thing among people. But I don't know, just like make it good, like your CV, make it look good, like I don't know, and try to mention stuff that you really did before in your past experience and they were really like useful for you or like for the society. Okay? I think this is like enough. If you have like papers, if you have publications, everything you can mention, put them in the CV. If you have motivation letters, by the way, I'm posting a lot of things on my Facebook page, the Brain Test, things related to the how to write your CV, how to write the motivation letter, and like a lot of like things from this field. I would suggest, I would highly recommend like to go and see them there. They are very useful. So yeah, in the CV you can mention these, and I was saying you can mention your references, the people you got your recommendation letters from. Okay? Thank you, Yusuf. This class was very helpful. Cheers. You are more than welcome, Carmen. Good luck. Mentioning that I'm studying master, I will lower my chances to get the scholarship. No, I told them. Like being a resident physician is technically a master, okay? And I told them this. And in my CV, I wrote masters. They asked me about it. He said, as I'm seeing here, that you are currently a master student in Aleppo University Hospital. And I explained everything to him. I told him, yeah, this is internal medicine department, and I honestly don't like it. I don't enjoy it because this is not my field. I just want to study like the human brain. That's what I'm curious about. That's what I'm excited about, you know? So no, doesn't matter. A very, very best of luck for your exam. Thank you so much for the session. Really. Of course, Harris, you are more than welcome, and my door is always open for any question that you have, but please just try to understand that I will take like much time to answer you. So that's why I'm making this, okay? You are more than welcome and good luck. Are pharmacists accepted in this program? We have a slim chance. Yes, I think so. Yes, because pharmacists, like pharmacy itself, it's all about chemistry, okay? And it's all about like the body chemistry. That's why you study pharmacy to know how the chemicals react inside the body. So yeah, and I think I don't know if this is right or wrong, but I think like one section of pharmacy is the human brain drugs. So you know exactly the chemistry of the brain. So yeah, eventually, yeah, I think you have a chance, of course. Again, I would suggest if you have like these sensitive questions, I would suggest like to send an email to the help desk of the scholarship to tell them that I'm studying this and I have a degree in this and I etc. And you'll get an answer. Thanks a lot for your time and good luck with your exam tomorrow. This was very helpful. Bless you. Thank you very much. Of course, you are more than welcome, and I wish you the all luck of the world. Does the scholarship cover the life expenses of the life? Yeah, it does. You get a salary every month, and you get health insurance in case you got sick or you went to the hospital or something, and you get in the first year and the second year a certain amount of money. It's called like the installation. Sorry, the installation money. Like if you paid for your flight, if you paid for your visa, if you paid like for a lot of things, at first you have to pay, by the way. So if you paid for these from you, they're gonna give it back to you. If I have a Russian passport but not Syrian and I studied in Syria, can I apply with my Russian one or they require the Syrian one? No, it doesn't matter. You can apply with whatever you want. Thank you very much for your time. I'm sure sharing your own experience will be helpful. Thank you very much, Fadi. I really appreciate your comment and good luck. Do we have to go back after finishing master? For this scholarship, no, they don't require you to go back. But after you finish this master, your visa and your residence permit are gonna be end. Like they're gonna be like I don't know what's the word for this. Like they're gonna be over. Okay. Yeah, expired. That's the word. So you have to do more new things to get them renewed. Okay. Like you have to do like a PhD. You have to find a job, whatever. But yeah, after they expired, you're not allowed to stay here anymore. Okay. I think I finished all the questions. Woohoo! So, I'm gonna wait like for a couple of minutes. If you have any more questions, I'm here. You are more than welcome, Maria. Of course. Good luck with your plans and your studies and your. I think you said you are a 6 year student, medical student, so you have the national examination. So good luck بفحصك الوطني and take care. Is there a number of students accepted for each track? I think it differs from like a year to a year and from a track to track. So I think yeah, there is. That's for sure. But I don't know how many students. Like for example, uh, this year I think we are 5 students for the track number one. Thank you very much for your time. That was amazing. Okay. You are more than welcome, of course. Good luck, Zuza. Thank you very much, of course, Helene. Thank you very much. Good luck. Self-study guide to study experience references, etc. Are you asking like for a self-study? I really don't understand your questions. Like what's the point? Like what exactly do you want? Like do you want a self-study guide to study neuroscience? Mm, there is a website called brainfacts.org, and it's a very useful website, okay? And there's another website, it's called neurosciencenews.com. Both of them, they are academic and they have a lot of papers and they have a lot of like explaining methods. So yeah, you can use them for first if you want. I don't know. Thank you for your time. Of course, you're welcome, Abdullah. Of course, you're more than welcome. Good luck. And you are more than welcome, Ines. You're welcome, for sure. I have a problem to do TOEFL because of electricity, and I told them I will upload my certificate. What should I do? I don't know. Do you have your certificate or not? If you do, just try to go like to a library or something. Like try to get it in generator. I don't know. But yeah, it's solvable. It's not impossible, right? You can do it. If someone has been rejected, then there is a chance for them to be selected if they appeal. No, if you are rejected, you are rejected. Don't try to make a scene. Yeah, don't try like to send them an email and no, I'm good at this and I really deserve this. No, that's why there is something called motivation letter. Okay. How much percent is the value of interview from 100%? Really? Like more than 80%. Yeah, like the point of the motivation letter, it's the same thing that you're gonna say in the interview, but without your face or without your talking, okay? And you can like highlight the most important things in your life. If I read them and I like them, I will call you for an interview. If I don't, I'm not gonna call you. Many thanks, user, for your time. Of course, yes, Amy. Good luck with your interview. And as I said before to you and to everyone here, if you have any more questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them, of course. Any more questions? Again, as I said before, uh, if you find this content very useful for you and you are really enjoying this, you can support me on buymeacoffee.com/thebraintest. I would really appreciate it because this is taking like so much time from me and effort, and I will be grateful. You can find the link in the description of the video. Okay, I'll be waiting for a few minutes. Any more questions? Again, for anyone who is having an interview in the next couple of weeks, don't worry, it's not gonna be like very hard for you. You just need to practice, especially if it was in English. So try to practice English with the people that you know and the people that they speak English. That's very good. And if you have the chance to make like a mock interview with someone, just give them the questions that I mentioned, okay? And try to have like a video call with that person. They will ask you the questions and you will answer to them, okay? It doesn't matter that you will answer right or wrong. It's just about like the way of you talking, okay? Like just to practice. Do you have any useful tips from your experience for information to include in motivation letter that makes someone stand out at the scholarship committee? Uh, Honestly, like this life is not about the motivation letter, but I'm gonna answer you, of course. Try just to highlight your life and try to put your reader, the person who is reading your paper, and try to think if it's really interesting and it's really like worth interviewing the person who wrote this paper, like motivation letter, or not. Okay? So you will not or you won't write your motivation letter in one day. Okay, this is a very important thing. You're not gonna be able to write it. It's very hard. You're gonna write down a lot of things and you're gonna read them and you're gonna delete a lot of other things and you're gonna read them and then you're gonna give this letter to a lot of people that you know. And some people will give you feedback. Some people will give you negative feedback and it's gonna affect you and you're gonna feel sad and then you're gonna delete them and it's like a huge process. It's not like okay, I'm gonna write a motivation letter now. I have like 2 hours and that's it. No, you can't. For me, I swear I spent like one and a half month for this. Like like nearly 45 days writing my motivation letter. Many thanks. Please, can you? Yeah, I'm gonna save it and probably I'm gonna upload this video on YouTube. Okay, it's gonna be long, but I'm gonna try. You're welcome, Hala. If a student fails to complete the course in the given period, is there any extension provided? Oh, this is a very complicated question, honestly, because the short answer, no. Okay, but the long answer, uh, first you get two chances for every course, okay? Like two exam chances. If you fail the first one, you get the second one. If you fail the second one, you're not allowed to take any exam, any more exams. You have to wait for the second or the next year, okay? But as an Erasmus student, I asked them this question, and I was like, okay, what if I failed the first one and I was sick in the second one, or like I don't know, I could have like many reasons. What's the point for me? I can't stay here for the next year. Like if it's a normal student, like neuroscience student in this university, they will stay here for the next year because they study neuroscience for 2 years. But for me, I won't be here like the next year. And he said, "Don't worry, we can arrange something to you. We can call the professor and make an exam just for you." But I can't say that this is for sure, okay? I think it's gonna be like different for a lot of people. Uh, I really thank you very much for the support that I'm getting now. Uh, Honestly, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Uh, Selma, you are welcome. Ala, you are welcome. More than welcome. I wish you good luck, all people. I'm gonna wait 2 minutes, and if there are any more questions, I'm gonna answer to them. If they are not, I'm gonna end this session. Okay? I wish you all the best for all of you. Uh, it's not easy. It's not easy, and no one said it's gonna be easy. Think about it like this: if it's easy, you know what's gonna happen. You know, Like a lot of people could do it. That's why it's not easy. That's why like in the scholarship, like in Erasmus, the last year they chose 19 students from all the world. So just keep it up and do your best and leave this here and do your best and good luck. I think no more questions. Yeah, it's saved, I think so. Like if you look here, it's being recorded. So that's a good thing. Now it's been more than an hour, I think. Yeah, 1 hour and 40 minutes. Okay, good luck, people. Have a nice day, and it's good night for all, basically, I think all of you. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me. Don't hesitate to reach me out. I would prefer via email, please, because it's very hard like to answer through Messenger, via Messenger or WhatsApp. So good luck. Have a nice day, and bye bye.